WWE are very worried about tonight's SmackDown. Plus, multiple Impact star contracts are expiring soon. And former NXT and AEW star has been cleared for an in-ring return. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Obviously, before we start, we send our best wishes if you've been affected by Hurricane Ian over where you are, and we've seen some really harrowing footage from what's been taking place over there, and we hope that you're staying well. This will have, and it seems sort of it's not as important, obviously, as your well-being, but I think it's worth noting because this is a wrestling YouTube channel. SmackDown may be heavily affected by Hurricane Ian, and WWE are concerned.
Yes, Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio saying Hurricane Ian has got so many people in WWE worried about tonight's show. He said, I know WWE is very worried about Friday's show because they have lots of people from Florida. Loads of wrestlers live there, largely for tax reasons, isn't it? Don't they income tax?
I think tax, right? Weather,
the hope was
alligators and Disney.
The hope was that it'll be okay and people can get there from Tampa and Orlando to Winnipeg, you idiots, on Friday. So I hope they manage to do something. You know, don't expect to see everybody there basically tonight. I'm sure they'll still nail it and everything, but human life is a bit more important than getting to the blue brand.
It is slightly more important. I think it'd be an interesting one tonight. I said this yesterday with Andrew. It puts me in mind a little bit of the Ash Cloud Raw, as it's better known. That day where all the Raw stars got stuck in the UK because of the volcanic ash cloud. So they had like a SmackDown invasion of Raw. So what I always find when something like this happens, they are able to create quite an intriguing show off the back of it.
Hope Bray can get there tonight. Just a 2-hour Bray
What
show.
if only Bray can get there?
Yeah, there's been a few cases, isn't there? Like the Saudi Arabia thing when the NXT invasion as well.
NXT invasion.
So maybe they'll do something a little bit different. I imagine they'll have enough people that have been able to get there. Maybe people have left a little bit early, but ultimately, if you live in the area, I hope you're staying safe.
Yes, please do stay safe. Now, moving over to Impact Wrestling, some news from Fightful about a few stars who could be on the way out. So Mia Yim signed back in spring, and her contract is up on October the 9th, which is the same day as Bound for Glory. So Bound for Glory inclusive. She's wrapping up very soon in terms of this contract. So it could be her match with Mickie James next Friday could be her last match for Impact.
Yeah, I really, really like her, and I imagine, like, it's quite interesting that she signed such a short-term contract there. That's what, like a 6-month contract, I imagine. Triple H was pretty hot on her.
Maybe why she hasn't re-signed another contract?
I can imagine that she might head back there. I would assume that she'd be interested in doing something with AEW, with Keith there. But if she can get paid handsomely by WWE, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Also, Maria, as well as Mia Yim, Maria Kanellis, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven's deals with Impact are set to expire. Now, they joined when Ring of Honor shut down. They joined as part of the Honor No More faction, and they've had a really good run. I've really enjoyed some of the stuff that Honor No More have done. Potentially, now that kind of there's... Ring of Honor is sort of back in some form. It doesn't really have a television deal yet or anything like that. Maybe these three could be looking for something new. Yeah. Maybe WWE. When I spoke to Mike Bennett the other week, he said he would be up for a WWE return. He feels like there's a lot of pages unwritten of his time
for sure.
there.
I'd be interested to see what they can do. Maria recently said that she's been in talks with both Triple H and Tony Khan as well. So I don't know. I think I'd be happy to see him wherever, to be honest. I just want to see him on my screen.
I want to see him on my screen. Just want to dance to the ballet. Next week at Bound for Glory, added to the card, we're getting an Impact Digital Media Open Championship match. Brian Myers is going to defend it against whoever fancies their chances on the pre-show, essentially.
Right.
So this could be a debut.
Yeah.
This could be a cheeky little reappearance. It could be. Bound for Glory is always a place where Impact like to bust out some surprises. They've not been too overly heavy on hinting that this time round. Normally, the build for Bound for Glory is it kind of teases lots of new faces or like some old faces returning.
Yeah.
And outside of sort of Raven going into the Hall of Fame, we don't really have that this year. They're kind of focusing on what they've got internally.
No,
it's not a bad thing to do.
No, I think that's a really good thing as well, because you do that like so often, and they do it with Slammiversary a lot as well, don't they? Is like teasing all these old names, ex-WWE people, whatever, coming back. You're putting the focus more on that than your brand itself and the people who have been working their asses off on the telly. And I understand why they do it, and it certainly pops the ratings or pops the buy rate.
It's an interesting time to not do that because, as you say, it pops a buy rate. But with this Bound for Glory next Friday, it's got some tough competition. It's up against SmackDown. And it's up against Rampage and Battle of the Belts.
Oh, I forgot Battle of the Belts is on as well.
That's all at the same time.
That's rough for them, isn't it?
We had Masha Slamovich on the news podcast yesterday, and she's very confident that what they put on is a great show, and when people find it on Fight, they'll stick around and watch it. But that's still a tough order to be up against like the two other heavy hitters.
That's a long night of wrestling as well. If you're catching a lot of it, I'm going to be streaming Bound for Glory.
Nice.
Yeah, not reactions. I'm just going to stick the whole thing on the YouTube channel. So no, I'm doing
just
reactions
a video of you
that.
just softly crying as you're watching. Finally, we'll end on some good news from an NXT and AEW star who was cleared for an in-ring return. I thought they'd retired and then retired again.
He's retired about 50 times, Tom. Lio Rush. We're talking about little Lio Rush. He's set to return to the ring for the first time in 9 months. Congratulations. I assume he's had a little baby. He tweeted, cleared yesterday before being announced as an entrant in Rev Pro's British J Cup. Yeah, I thought he'd retired this time around as well, but he's done that. He's come and gone. Plenty of times. Yeah, what? No, I like the guy. I think he's really talented. I liked his stuff with Bobby. I think he's a great high flyer.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Trouble seems to follow the bloke, doesn't it?
He's the boy who cried retire, and that's at a time where Ric Flair is endlessly teasing another retirement match. And
I'm up for it.
yeah, Ric Flair, Lio Rush both retire. Wink, wink.
I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? Not in a. Like,
now you do sound like the red guy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I was hoping to do nothing today.
No. If Flair comes back, and I hope he doesn't die. But it was really interesting last time. It was scary, but I felt something. Aroused.
Title of my sex tape. Now, where has Lio Rush been? So, he was having a lovely chat with Denise Salcedo about this. It was an injury that he suffered back at Battle of Los Angeles in January. He said, my shoulder went into my armpit and my arm was stuck. It's not meant to go there. So I rolled to my back and put my wrist in between my leg and I pulled and popped my shoulder back. Once I got to the hospital, I was informed that in the process, I tore muscles and possibly some ligaments. Got an MRI. It showed that I tore 3 different muscles in my shoulder. I had surgery and that is a lot to deal with. He just properly got broken up by that.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
Properly
that sounds rough.
Well, Lio Ruff.
Congratulations on your 7th return. Good luck to.
And all the best for Ric Flair's 9th.
Yes.
That'll be a
absolutely.
nice thing to happen. More wrestling news throughout the day at Cultaholic.com. The lads are back later on today with the Cultaholic podcast. This week in the wrestling, the mailbag, and the Hall of Fame.
We've got a big weekend too.
Yes,
got a big weekend. We've got news as normal. We've got a list going out on Saturday. We've got Jack's weirdest show. It's about weird shows. I don't know if he's mentioned what it is. It's a weird old WWE pay-per-view, and then we've got a new true crime documentary on Sunday evening as well about Chris Benoit.
Oh,
heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff.
It's been in the works for about 2.5 months.
Loads to watch across the weekend here. And for the latest wrestling news, as we say, check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.